Hey y'all, welcome back to Daydream Manor Flower Farm. I'm Dawn, I live in South Louisiana. Today's video is about working smarter, not harder. Well, hey y'all, welcome to the back porch. I gotta get y'all caught up and tell you what else I've done. Because I am trying to put things in place that make sense for me. So, alright, quick catch up. Weather is beautiful today, but I'm out here early because y'all, in a couple hours the humidity is gonna be high. It's gonna be like trying to talk underwater, breathe underwater. It's just awful. But over the weekend, I was able to get the tunnel cleaned out. I pulled up the rest of the snaps, the campanula. I propagated mums. We'll talk about that in a minute. And just did a whole overhaul in the tunnel because this weekend, or when you see this, it would have happened the day before, is the Wildflower Festival. I participated last year with our flower forming group, and we had a bouquet bar. We had made pre-made bouquets to sell, and we did well. We sold everything out. It was a great way to get out into the community. This is the second annual one coming up, and we learned a lot from the last one about how we're going to set up in that. So we're excited about that, but I needed to get all of my lisianthus harvested. And y'all, you know, just from a calendar space, this is like my last push with my flowers, because in another week or so, it's going to be 100 plus degrees in the tunnel. I mean, it's already 92, 93 with 97% humidity. I do not want to do flowers June and July and into August. It takes a lot to keep them watered. What I do have in the tunnel that will get me through those months to make those one-off bouquets, because I'm not doing subscriptions, I'm not doing any of that. If I have some that I'll bring to the boutique, I mean, I have those. So I have some zinnias, some marigolds, some basil. I have all of that already planted in there that I'll be able to cut from for the next, 2 months. Celosia, I'll be able to cut from that. Because the goal is to really start looking at October, November, which is mums. That's where I like to concentrate. Mums. I have a few dahlias. We'll see how those do again. So those will be my sales for September-ish, October, a little bit of November, not a lot, because the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I'm yanking everything out and amending my beds, because Thanksgiving week is when I plan out all my cool season. So this is my last big push. It's when I harvest everything to take to the Wildflower Festival. So that I got done. But then, because I don't have enough to do, or I need to be smarter and not work harder, I started thinking about this back porch. So if you've been with me for any length of time, this is my back porch. It faces north. When we built the house, I had like a little bistro table back here. Mr. Daydream and I would eat out here sometimes. I mean, there's only like small windows of opportunity here in South Louisiana to eat outside where you're not in sweltering heat or being ate up by mosquitoes. And so when I started really getting into flower farming and I was trying to figure out, well, where do I go harden off all these seedlings? I'm like, here. So I purchased the metal shelving. I got it all so cheap. There was a store in town at the time that is no longer in business here, but it's kind of like dinged stuff. Maybe parts are missing, whatever. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with them, and I bought a lot of these. The ones that are in my stem shed that I start on, those all came from there. So I paid pennies on the dollar. So I have it. This is where I harden off all of my seedlings. But here's the other piece of that. So as the farm has evolved and my income streams have also evolved with my nursery license, I don't even know if y'all know this, I sell houseplants. I sell them at the boutique. I'm trying to get them all on my website so I can start shipping. But what was happening was, so when I start them, a lot of them I propagate. So I was having those all over back here. Sometimes I will order in the 1 inch or 2 inch plants and then grow them from there. But I was having to take them when it was time to pot them up, having to scoop them up, take them to the stem shed, carry them back. Like it was just such a pain in the butt. And it's like, this is super not efficient anymore. How do I stop taking all these steps? And so here's what you need to know. There's no access onto the ground from the back porch except back through the house. So I have to go out the door and then back out my back door. So it's not like I could even just walk down the steps right here and go straight to there. No. That'd have been too easy. So anyway, I digress. So I was thinking when I was cleaning the tunnel, I'm like, you've got to go put something in place. So what I ended up doing was I just revamped this backspace. Now, yes, I will still have space once I start seedlings again. I have several spaces over here. Actually, I can redo this, so I'll have plenty enough room to harden out. But right now, this is the focus. It is plant season for me, basically. But let me show y'all what I mean. So, for instance, I came back here this morning because I needed to water and pot up some stuff. So, like, look at this, y'all. This is a prayer plant. So this I started it from one leaf, and it has grown. And then, so I'll sell these like this. I'm selling them off my website. I'm going to be a seller on Whatnot. That's a whole nother platform for sellers. But the other part of this is I need to also keep these going because I need them to get bigger, because I am going to be offering these as part of sympathy flowers. So Samantha from Star Hill Blooms, she does casket sprays. So her and I are teaming up to do a funeral space for sympathy flowers, and that we feel like a calling to do that. So some of these plants that I'm growing will need to be bigger so that I can offer those in some different sizes for sympathy plants. So I needed space. I didn't have a table back here. I grabbed this folding table. I brought all of my soils up here because I put those in bins because I have special mixes for different plants. Because right now I have Hoyas, I have anthuriums, I have philodendrons, I have monsteras. So I have like a whole plethora of plants, and I just needed a better space. So right now what I've done is, and I'm going to try to move y'all around a little bit. So up here, you can't really see though. Up here I put like all of my pots, all of those pieces, decorative rocks for when I do succulents and that. This shelf actually has just, I realized I needed to be able to visually look out and see what needs to be done. So if I have an hour or two here or there, I can come look and I'm like, oh, I need to get this done. So the part of the process for me is using this shelf to put things that need to be taken care of. So for instance, this is a eucalyptus. Y'all, I've been growing this since heck was a pup. It's just taking forever. But it needs to be potted up. There's 4 in here. I need to separate it out. So I have it back here. My sister-in-law sent me a message. She said, hey, you want some spider babies? And I'm like, sure. She said, you know, I'm going to separate this plant out. I'll bring you some. Y'all, look how pretty. But she bought me 75 of them. So I've got to move. I'm going to put some of those in the boutique. I'm going to put them in arrangements. So those need to be worked on. The other thing that I'm working on for Father's Day is the staghorn ferns that are attached to wood. I have some driftwood that I'm going to put those on. So some of those things need to be done. So that's going to be my, oh look, you should go do that. You have 15 minutes. You could get this done. Y'all, yesterday, for the first time I used it, I had been on calls for like 6 hours straight. I needed a break. I had not stopped for lunch. I had not had breakfast. And I just needed, I needed away from the computer. And I looked out the window and I was like, oh, I could go do that real quick. Y'all, I spent like 20 minutes out here just potting some things up. So good for my mental health. So good. So I am extremely excited about this space. I'm hoping to utilize it and really get better at my process. I want to show y'all this too. So I have not been successful propagating cut mums. Not at all. So Sunday though, I did 4 trays like this. Now, I am hoping, because I have this cleaned and I can see everything and it's going to become part of my daily routine, I'll remember to water them. Because I think that's why I haven't been successful. I haven't taken good care of them. So I am hoping to get mum cuttings. Please don't ask me what kind, because none of them are labeled. We're just going to roll with it. So that got done, but I don't know about you all, but when I have organization, when I have a process, y'all, the things it does for my mental health, it really just revitalizes me and gets me excited to do some things. So that's what I spent the weekend on. here's something else I want to show you real quick, and this is not a paid sponsorship. I will say the owner did send this to me because it's a product I love, and can't wait to share. So if you have watched any of my, oh, there we go. Oh, there's a card. If you have watched any of my Instagrams, you know that I talk about Prune Master. And so, y'all, I love Prune Master. Well, so I got a message the other day. They are rebranding because, exciting news, they're going to be available on Amazon, and I think they're already available at Walmart.com. Anyway, they rebranded to Retain. And so it is a germicide, a cleaner, and a lubricant for your snips or for any of your gardening tools. I use this religiously on my snips. Y'all, first of all, Melanie is a small business owner. It's her and her husband. Let me be clear. If I don't like something, we're not going to talk about it. But if I like it and I think it is something you could benefit from, I'm going to share. And this has been one of those products. Y'all, I have never met this woman. I've never met Melanie, but I feel like we're BFFs now. But let me show y'all how easy it is to use. So all you're doing is, I always shake it up a little bit, and you spray it on your snips. Now you're supposed to let it sit for a few minutes, but I'm not, just because of this video. And then, sorry, I forgot, y'all can't see down there. And then you just wipe them and clean them up. Now these are just some cheap snips that I keep back here. I mean, they weren't that cheap, but they're not my Felcos. Ooh, y'all. Ooh, can you see? But the bigger, look, the cleanliness is great, but I will tell you, it's the lubricant in it for me. Because y'all know, with this pain in my hand, I cannot be fighting with stuff. And y'all love this stuff. So if you need a good germicide, a cleaner, a lubricant, y'all, I'm highly recommending Retain. So, hold on, she put me a little card. Oh, thanks a bunch. All organic, using oregano oil to sanitize. Still a great cleaner and lube. Comes in 32 ounces also. Walmart.com, and in a week, Amazon.com. Y'all, kudos to them, right? Like, Melanie and her husband Bruce, I think have been working on this for a while. Y'all, this is why I love the flower community, because people are just genuinely nice. I believe that. And here's the other thing. I want to support other small businesses. We all watch the news. We know about businesses closing and that. I try my best to shop local. There are some things I can't get local that I have to go to a big box store. But for the most part, if I can shop local, I do. In fact, in February, so I do a no-spend January. That's my financial cleanse for the year. Then in February, I started this year where I shop just local for everything. Groceries, anything I need for the house, I shop local. And by local, I mean small businesses, the farmer's market, whatever that is. If everyone did that, y'all, can you imagine what small business America would really look like? So, and I know I'm preaching to the choir because you all are small business. For the most part, everybody who watches this is a small business owner. But just let's spread the word. So, another great company. Again, she does not pay me to say any of this. She did gift this to me because it's in the new, in the new branding. But y'all, I buy it anyway. So, all right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox because we all know. But I hope you all have a wonderful week. Oh, and let's look, I'm praying for good weather for the Wildflower Festival, because that means more people and more flower sales. So have a wonderful week, and we will chat again soon. See ya.